So the resurrection is counted as the central fact of the Christian faith. The Apostle Paul said, if Christ is not risen from the dead, our hope and our faith is in vain. And yet, all these years later, we do know a lot more about the death of human bodies, the cell destruction that takes place after death. Isn't the resurrection of a human body a pretty implausible idea, right, to start with?
If you just want to start with it and lay it out, on the table and say, what's likelihood this guy who's dead in the morgue after 3 days is going to come back? But what gets the attention about Jesus is the incredible amount of evidence that something like this really happened. And I'm telling you, after doing this for 50 years, the evidence does not stop.
Now, you are a noted expert on the evidence for the resurrection, but you have taken what I think you and others call the minimal facts approach to prove the resurrection. What does that mean? Explain that to us.
Now, I sometimes call the minimal facts the lowest common denominator. If I take only those facts, this is the argument, if I take only those facts, which critical scholars will admit, I think I could build a case for the resurrection based only on that data. I move back and forth between them because we have more than we need, but I would say some of these would be Jesus died by crucifixion. After his death, his disciples had experiences which they believed were appearances of the risen Jesus. As a result, their lives were utterly transformed to the point of being willing to die for their faith, and many did. The fact that this message, this gospel message, was proclaimed very, very early. Critics now admit that we can get this message all the way back to 30 AD. Not waiting until the first gospel comes decades later. 30 AD, that's early. That's the definition of early. Then you have two skeptics, James and Paul, who both met the risen Jesus, and they become Christians. So those are some of the ones that I'm going to be granted those facts, and I'll use them.
So we talk about these things from a scholarly standpoint. We can talk about them from a theological or philosophical standpoint as well. It's the central fact of the Christian faith.
Absolutely.
But it's also deeply personal, and for Christians, there should be an experiential reality attached to the resurrection. How is it that the resurrection of Jesus Christ actually does impact us in the here and now?
Well, I tell my students there's over 300 verses in the New Testament on the resurrection. And it's not just apologetics. We all know, if we had to pick two topics, it's the center of apologetics, it's the center of soteriology, it's the center of salvation, center of the gospel. All right, but beyond those two, it is tied to virtually every major theological doctrine, and it's tied to almost every area of Christian practice. So in this event, I love to tell my students, the resurrection is like a multifaceted diamond. Turn it this way, and it's the best evidence there is. Turn it this way, and it's part of the definition of the gospel. Turn it this way, and it's this, and then it's this. But a couple of those angles are ministerial angles. They tell you what they mean to us that way. For example, 1995, my wife died of stomach cancer. And Paul has a saying there. He says, if Christ has not been raised and the dead are not raised, then our loved ones who've died in Christ have died in vain. So for people who've lost loved ones, that's almost everybody, especially maybe over the age of 25 or something, the resurrection has special significance for us because the doctrine that's tied to the resurrection, more than any other doctrine in the New Testament, is the believer's resurrection. Almost 20 times the statement is, because he was raised, we'll be raised. In fact, I think the words of Jesus, because I live, ye shall live also. Yes. After my wife died, I got a card from somebody, and it was so moving that I couldn't repeat it to anybody for almost a year. I just stumbled on the words. It said, picture eternity when you will be in heaven, walking hand in hand with your wife, explaining and seeing and witnessing for yourself the glories of that place. And I thought, that was so touching. It just got me right here. And that's what the resurrection does. It gets us right here.
for us as believers, when we talk about hope, we're not talking about hope in a conditional sense. I hope this happens. I hope that happens. We're talking about the confident expectation that the promises of God are real and that they're secured in the resurrection of Jesus.
That's correct. That's what the Greek word means. And Peter uses the word hope in 1 Peter 1 when he said rejoice, because that's the kind of hope we have. He means rejoice because that's the kind of secured hope we have.
Gary, thanks so much for being with you. It's been a joy to have you.
Thanks, Frank. I loved it. I enjoyed it.